How often have you seen Ms. Heard use other illicit drugs in your presence?
Several times.
And what drugs were those?
Well, she was always quite fond of MDMA, which is ecstasy, and mushrooms, and she had some medications that she was on already that were, well, one in particular was quite a high velocity speed, if you will, called, I don't know if I can say the name. Am I allowed to say the name? It doesn't matter.
That's not necessary. How often did you see Ms. Heard take MDMA?
A dozen times, 20 times, over the course of the years, during the course of the years.
And what about mushrooms?
Mushrooms a little less. Mushrooms probably 6, 7 times.
Mr. Depp, do you recall at the beginning of her opening, Ms. Heard's counsel mentioned that the first time you supposedly struck Ms. Heard was in response to a comment about one of your tattoos?
Yes, I remember.
And what is your response to that?
It didn't happen. I've never struck Miss Heard. As I said yesterday, I've never struck Miss Heard. I've never struck a woman in my life. I'm certainly not going to strike a woman if she decides to make fun of a tattoo that I have on my body. That's like going into someone's journal and picking out things you don't like. She had made mention, there was no incident of argument when the tattoo thing had been brought up many times, and I mean, there's really nothing I can do. I've always thought of my body as a journal, if you will, to mark experiences, to mark life experiences. For example, when my first child was born, I had her name tattooed over my heart, which is where her little head used to be when I rock her to sleep. I marked my boy's birth by tattooing myself for him. So no one can go back, or no one should go back and rewrite their journals. Why would I take such great offense to someone making fun of a tattoo on my body? That allegation never made any sense to me whatsoever.
Are there any tattoos that you had that Ms. Heard had an issue with, to your understanding?
Well, a tattoo that I believe is up here, which used to say Winona Forever, who was a former girlfriend, and we'd been together for a few years. Winona Ryder, and when we broke up, how do you fix that? I did go back and rewrite my journal to some degree. I took off the last 2 letters and had it say Wino Forever. just because I thought it was, again, through pain comes humor. Humor has to come in there at some point, into the pain. And that's how you play it out in your mind. So I have, I think sometimes abstractly, in that sense, so I changed it to Wino Forever. Any other tattoos? Well, she was very encouraging in me getting a tattoo of her name, or whatever, and I waited a while, and then I did it. I got a full tattoo of her, and it ironically wasn't long after that 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 everything started going sideways. I was doing anything I could to bring a smile to her face, as opposed to the frown and then the onslaught of whatever problems she was seeing or experiencing. I would try to wake her up with laughter. You know, singing stupid songs in her ear while she, you know, I generally just tried to keep bringing her mood up. Sometimes it worked, many times it didn't. But I tried, and I wanted to try, because, as I said, I didn't want to fail, and at the time, not knowing fully, not understanding fully what I was, if you'll excuse the term, up against, I kept trying. I kept trying, but to no avail whatsoever. Okay, it just got worse.